questions in the comment section, and we will have about 10 minutes at the end of the session for Amarendra Prabhu to address your questions. So without any further ado, I'll hand it off to Amarendra Prabhu. Welcome, Prabhuji.
My voice audible? Hare Krishna. Hari Bol, Prabhu, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu, we can hear you. You are live, and you can get started whenever you're ready.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. It's certainly my honor and privilege to be here and joining with all the devotees of ISKCON Toronto and devotees joining all around the world. For those joining us from America early in the morning, for those joining us in India, it's late evening. So thank you for kindly participating, and I feel very honored, very privileged, very humbled to be part of this Janmashtami series organized by ISKCON Toronto. I've never had the good fortune of visiting Canada and meeting devotees, but I have one of my brothers in Toronto. He's just graduated a master's there, and he's been asking me to come. And so Krishna willing, someday, but if not physically, now when we are living in a world, especially this year, where we are all socially distant but virtually connected, I feel happy to be in Toronto while being in Atlanta. So thank you so much for having me. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So I've been asked to speak on the topic of attracting the all attractive. We know for sure that Krishna is all attractive. The word Krishna is defined in the Shastra as Krishir Bhuvachako Shabdho Nascha Nivriti Vachakaha Tayor Aikyam Parabrahma Krishna iti Abhidhiyate. The word Krishna can be divided into two portions in Sanskrit. The first word is called Krish, and the second word is Na. The word Krish stands for He who is the most attractive source of all creation. And the word Na refers to He who is the source of happiness. So the source of greatness and the source of sweetness are not two beings, but it's two words for the same person. So Krishi Bhuvachako Shabda, the Lord of all creation, maintenance, and destruction, the all attractive Lord, who is the root of all sustenance. And Nehcha Nivriti Vachaka, the root of all sweetness. Ananda Pradayaka, he who gives bliss. Tayor Aikyam Parabrahma, coming from the Mahabharata, also quoted by Srila Jiva Goswami. And this verse is also found is quoted by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamrita, where Prabhupada makes a point that this comes from the Mahabharata. So it's a very, very important verse, especially when we are devotees of Krishna. The definition of the word Krishna is very important. Tayor Aikyam Parabrahma. When these two words of greatness and sweetness come together, Krishna iti avidhiyate. That's the all attractive, all opulent, yet all sweet, the source of all sweetness and the source of all opulence. That Krishna, who is the Lord of our life. Mat prananathastu sa eva napraha, like in the Shikshashtakam. So Krishna is certainly all attractive. And we know in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, 50 qualities are given for Lord Brahma, where he possesses all of them. And then 5 extra for Lord Shiva, so he possesses 55 qualities. And then there are 5 more for Vishnu, which means Vishnu possesses 60 qualities. So 50 for Brahma, another 5 for Shiva, so 55 for Shiva, another extra 5 for Vishnu, which is 60 for Vishnu. But then extra 4, which only Krishna has. And what are those 4? Venu Madhuri, Rupa Madhuri, Leela Madhuri, and Prema Madhuri. Rupa Madhuri, Venu Madhuri, Prema Madhuri, and Leela Madhuri. The sweetness of Krishna's form, Rupa Madhuri. The sweetness of Krishna's flute playing, Venu Madhuri. The sweetness of his associates, Prema Madhuri. And the sweetness of his pastimes, Leela Madhuri. These are 4 extra attributes Rupa Goswami gives to Krishna. And he calls it as the speciality of Krishna in Vrindavan, above all the Vishnu Murtis, Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narasimha. They don't possess these 4 opulences. Well, to say that they don't know it is incorrect. It's just that they don't possess it. But Krishna possesses playing the flute. Krishna possesses unparalleled beauty. Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu calls Krishna's beauty as Asama Urdhva Rupa Shri Vismapita Characharam. Asama urdhva rupa shri. That Krishna's form is unequaled, and what to speak of anything better than that. There's nothing equal to Krishna's form, and definitely nothing higher than that. So Krishna is the most beautiful. Vismapita characharam. He can make moving and non-moving, interchangeably moving and non-moving. The moving gets non-moving in the sense that they get stunned looking at Krishna, jaws drop, the eyes are dilated. Everyone looks like painted pictures. So the moving are non-moving. And the non-moving stones start moving and floating and flowing when touched by Krishna's lotus feet and when it hears Krishna's flute. Also, Krishna's flute is described in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu as Tri Jaganmanasakarashi, that the flute attracts the hearts of everyone in the three planetary systems, upper, middle, and lower. So in this way, Krishna's pastimes are so beautiful, Krishna's form is so beautiful, Krishna's loving associates are so beautiful, and his flute playing is unparalleled. As far as Krishna's pastimes are concerned, in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, again, Srila Rupa Goswami says, there is a possibility that the scientists will come to a point where they can count all the snowflakes, all the raindrops, all the atomic particles in the whole creation. But there'll never be a time when they will be able to come even to the start of one of the qualities displayed in the pastimes of Sri Krishna. Even Ananta Shesh, with all his mouths, for a lifetime of Brahma, which is only 311 trillion 40 billion years, by the way, Ananta Shesh, with all his mouths for that long a time, can't even describe one pastime of Krishna completely, because each pastime of Krishna is filled with so many beautiful, beautiful qualities that when you describe Krishna's quality, you also have to describe the friends of Krishna. You have to describe the trees of Vrindavan. You have to describe the fruits and the flowers and the environment. And you have to describe the Yamuna. You have to describe the rocks of Govardhan. You have to describe the rasa. You have to describe the bhava. And it's impossible to describe all of the happenings at the same time forever. Naparayeham. It's not possible to repay Krishna's devotees. Ittam satam brahma sukhanu bhutya dasyam gatanam paradaivatena maya shritanam narakdara kena sakham vijaharu krita punya punjaha. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 12, Text 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, Shukdev Goswami mentions that these friends of Krishna, who add in so much flavor and juice and sweetness, they are certainly most fortunate, and they have attained that position, Krita Punya Punjaha, after millions and millions of lives of bhajan, of Krishna Bhakti. So the point we're making here through the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that it is for sure, it is understood that Krishna is unparalleled as far as his attractive potency is concerned. As far as Krishna's form is concerned, his qualities are concerned, his attributes are concerned, there's no question, there's no doubt that he's the most attractive. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, translated in English as Nectar of Devotion, Srila Prabhupada gives examples, quoting from Rupa Goswami, of each quality of Krishna. Unlimited qualities, undoubtedly, but just for convenience sake, Rupa Goswami gives 64 qualities, and then he defines all of them in Sanskrit and gives an example each. Like one of the qualities of Krishna in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is Vividha Adbhuta Bhashavit. Now that's a big word. Let's break it down. Vividha, different kinds of, different variety, variegated. Vividha Adbhuta, astonishing. Adbhuta means astonishing. Vividha, various types. Adbhuta, astonishing. Bhasha, language. With, to know. So Krishna knows astonishingly variegated, various, innumerable, unlimited languages. Krishna knows your language, Krishna knows my language, Krishna knows our language, Krishna knows the language of the birds, he knows the language of the fishes, he knows the language of the insects, he knows the language of the demigods, he knows all the languages, including the language of silence as Paramatma. Krishna speaks everything. So he's undoubtedly the most attractive. So how do you attract someone who's all attractive? In this world, we see someone who's rich. The poor people get attracted to him because we always try to get attracted to someone, or we naturally get attracted to someone who has something that we are aspiring for. Let's say I'm looking for, some opulence, and there's someone who displays it. Naturally, my heart melts, and I want to have the association of someone who possesses that something which I'm looking for in life. But Krishna is full in everything. He is full in knowledge. Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashashashriyah. As you know from the Vishnu Puran, quoted by Parashara Muni, the father of Vyasadeva, that Krishna is full in knowledge. Like in the Bhagavad Gita, he speaks 700 verses in 48 minutes. He just has a casual, friendly conversation, and boom, that becomes like the biggest philosophical text of the Eastern wisdom. That all the acharyas prove their philosophy by commenting on the words of Krishna. Like Krishna casually has a friendship talk, a pep talk, without any rehearsal, without any practice. And that becomes the song of God, Bhagavad Gita. That's his knowledge. Think about his strength. With the tip of the fingernail of the pinky finger of the left hand, he can lift up Govardhan hill like a mushroom. He sips fire for breakfast. Think about that. He eats mud and drinks fire, forest fire. So that's Krishna's strength. So he's full in knowledge, he's full in strength, he's full in beauty, he's full in wealth, he's full in fame, and he's completely renounced. He's full in renunciation. So that is Bhagavan. Bhaga means opulences, Van means he who possesses. So he's full in all opulences. He's complete in everything possible. Certainly, undoubtedly, the most all-attractive Lord. When you look around, we get attracted to people in this world. We get attracted to people who speak many languages. We get attracted to people who are attractive. We get attracted to people who are beautiful. We get attracted to people who are wealthy. We get attracted to people, let's say, who are skilled and talented in so many ways. We have to understand that all of that talent, all of that skill, all of that ability, it originates in Krishna. So when those small reflections and shadow and manifestations of Krishna's opulence are seen in this world, we get attracted. Think about it. He owns it all. And when we see one of those qualities in a minute fashion in someone, boom, our heart gets attracted. And we fall in love. We fall in love with people, doesn't have to be just romantic love. We fall in love with people. It could be relationship as friends. It could be as well-wishers. It could be family. We love people. We like people. We get attracted to people due to some qualities. And all of those qualities, unlimitedly, forever, for all times to come, is in Krishna. Then the question is, why is my heart not getting attracted? Prahlad Maharaj in the 7th canto Bhagavatam describes that the heart is like an iron filing, and Krishna is like the most attractive magnet. When you move the magnet, the iron filing doesn't think whether or not to get attracted. It just spontaneously gets attracted. So it's our duty, it's our birthright, and it's the eternal nature of the soul to be attracted to Krishna. But think about it. When those iron pieces, those iron particles are rusted, they don't get attracted by the magnet. So when our heart, the iron filings of our heart are rusted with the coating of lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, jealousy, all of these things, then although the magnet is all powerful, the heart doesn't get attracted. Doesn't get attracted. And then we start looking for those opulences of Krishna in this world. We are searching for the right thing in the wrong place. So Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, back again, that's where we're referencing all of this from. Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu speaks about 6 qualities of devotion, bhakti. And Prabhupada quotes this in the first page of his English translation, The Nectar of Devotion. The 6 qualities of devotion, I will let you study them in great detail because it's beyond the scope of today's discussion. But one of those qualities of bhakti is in Sanskrit called as Sri Krishna Akarshani. What that translates as, Sri Krishna is the most attractive, most wonderful Krishna. Akarshani. Bhakti is that feminine potency which Akarshana Shakti, which attracts Sri Krishna, who's all attractive. So till now, in 20 minutes, we have made this point that Krishna is certainly all attractive. And bhakti is Akarshani, is that path which attracts the all attractive Lord. Till now, we mentioned that we getting attracted to Krishna's qualities. But now we're having a paradigm shift to mention we can do something by which Krishna will be all attracted by us. And that is the process of devotion. Bhakti is Sri Krishna Akarshani. Bhakti is that process by which we can attract the all attractive. That's the topic for today. In the Bhagavad Gita, throughout, Krishna speaks about so many different paths. But then finally, he speaks about bhakti. From chapter 7 to chapter 12, out of the 18 chapters, we know there are 3 sections, first 6, middle 6, and last 6. So there, Krishna, in the middle 6 chapters, he talks about bhakti yoga. And there throughout, Krishna is talking about the power of devotion. Some famous verses that we are aware of. Let's just put them on the table. Krishna says, Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha drida vrataha namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. Krishna mentions this in the Bhagavad Gita. He says, always chanting my holy names and yatantascha drida vrataha, and endeavoring with determination, and namasyantascha mam bhaktya, and offering obeisances to me with love, nitya yukta upasate. In this way, we will always be connected. This is the process. Then Krishna mentions, Ananyaschintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Another famous verse. Krishna says, if you are undeviated, you're undistracted, you have one pointed spirit of giving yourself to me in love, then I get so attracted, which means the all attractive Lord gets attracted. And how does he express his attraction? He says, Yogakshemam vahamyaham. I will preserve what you have and I will give you what you lack. You don't have to worry. Whatever you really need, I will give you. And whatever you have, I will preserve. I will not take it away. Another beautiful verse in that section, Krishna mentions, Yoginam api sarvesham madgatenantaratmanaha shraddhavan bhajate yumam samyukta tamomataha. Last verse of the 6th chapter. Krishna says, of all the different kinds of spiritual practitioners, the one Shraddhavan bhajate yomam. He who loves me, offers his devotional service to me. He's the first class. He's the best among everyone. So Shraddhavan, one must be faithful, and bhajate. The root word bhaja in Sanskrit means to serve. Prabhupada does not translate bhakti as devotion. Someone can say, well, I have devotion for Krishna in my heart. I don't have to express it outside. It's like a mother saying, I love my child, but when my child sleeps at night and passes urine, I feel too lazy to change it. But that doesn't mean I don't love my child. I love my child, but I'll change his or her pants in the morning. Well, wait a minute. That's not how love works. You're the mother, you love the child, which means love is expressed not just as an emotion. Love is a verb. It's an acting word. It's not a noun. It's not just a feeling. It's the expression of that feeling. So if you love your child, you're ready to give up your sleep, but jump and change the diapers or the pants of the child so that the child doesn't sleep all night in that, in that situation, but is comfortable. The mother may sleep in that urine, if she's really tired, but she will make sure that the child is comfortable. And then she can say, I love my child. But to say, I love my child, but I don't feel like changing the child's diapers, that's not love. That's some emotion in the heart, but there is no expression of that. Therefore, Prabhupada, whenever he talks about devotion, he doesn't, or bhakti, he doesn't say just call it some devotional sentiment in the heart. He translates bhakti in Sanskrit as devotional service, expression of that inner feeling. So Krishna says, Shraddhavan bhajate yomam. Bhaja means to express that love. So when someone has faith in the process and expresses their love for Krishna through service, they are the best, Krishna mentions. Let's move ahead. Then Krishna says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti uparitam ashnami prayatatmanaha. He says, you can give me a fruit, a flower, some leaf, and some water, no problem. I will accept it if there is devotional sentiment in that. Krishna is a very good linguist. So in Shastra, there is a fault of redundancy in the sense, if you use the same word multiple times, it just means that you are in lack of some other proper word, or you're just beating around the bush and making the same point again. So generally in Shastra, you will see the same word is not repeated again and again. And if it is, then there is poetic emphasis and embellishment there. So Krishna says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya, first time, prayachati tadaham bhakti uparitam ashnami prayatatmanaha. Why would Krishna use the word bhakti twice in 2 lines? For emphasis. If there is devotion in your heart, only then I will accept what you're giving, says Krishna. Then Krishna says, Manmana bhava mad bhaktau madhyajimam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktvaivam atmanam atparayanaha. All that you have to do is give your mind to me. Oh, Krishna, but we can't give our mind to you. Our mind has all other things. No problem. Mad bhakta, just become my devotee. Well, Krishna, to become your devotee, bhakta means he who performs bhakti, and bhakti means anyabhilashita shunyam, according to Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, just wanting Krishna and nothing else. Krishna, I don't think I'm ready. Okay, Madhyaji, just offer some worship at least. Just worship me. Krishna, look, I live in Toronto. I don't have time. I go at 7 o'clock in the morning and come at 8 o'clock at night. I work in downtown. It's very difficult. I can't give my mind to you. I can't perform bhakti. I can't even worship. I don't have time. Krishna says, Namaskuru. No problem. Just offer your obeisances to me and say that I'm not able to do any of this. Krishna, I am yours. I will accept you, Krishna says. This is the process. Krishna says, anyone who offers devotion, expresses devotion, genuine devotional substance, I accept him. Doesn't matter what caste, creed, religion, nationality, doesn't matter what circumstance they come from. It's the sincerity of one's intention. One could be a monkey and one could be Hanuman. One could be a bear and one could be Jambavan. One could be an eagle and one could be Garuda. One could be an elephant and one could be Gajendra. One could be a vulture and one could be Jatayu. One could be a demon, a demoniac family, and one could be Bali Maharaj. One could be Prahlad Maharaj. One could be Vibhishan. One could be born in a demoniac family, and if they have devotion, Krishna will accept, like Vritrasura. So many examples. So if there is devotion, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I will accept the living being. There is no problem. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma shashvachantim nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Krishna mentions again that whatever flaws may be there in the life of a devotee, if he simply, sincerely accepts the process, let bygones be bygones. Don't worry too much about the past. The past is mystery. The past is a history. The future is mystery. What is between history and mystery is the present. And this present is actually a gift of God. It is the present of God. So make the best use of this present of God by using the present time. Not flying into the past, not flying into the future, but moment after moment offering it in Krishna's service. Krishna says, if you do that, Name Bhakta Pranashyati, my devotees never perished. Again, Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Braja, Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Moksheshyami Ma Shucha. 1865, 1866, Bhagavad Gita. You don't have to worry. Just give up all your misconceptions and serve me, says Krishna, according to the principles of Shastra, according to the principles of the Acharyas, and then I will accept you. So this process of bhakti attracts the all attractive. This is Bhagavad Gita. Now let's come to the Bhagavatam. In Bhagavatam, Dharma Projita Kaitavotra Paramo Nirmatsaranam Satam Vedyam Vastavam Atra Vastu Shivadam Tapatrayon Mulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamani Krute Kimva Parairishwaraha Sadhyo Riddhi Avarudhyate Atra Kritibhi Sushrushubi Tatkshana. The second verse of the Bhagavatam kicks out everything temporary and brings in the eternal duty, the Sanatan Dharma, the Jaiva Dharma, the Dharma of the Jiva, that is to serve Krishna. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. We as male, as female, as boys, as girls, as fathers, as mothers, as brothers, as sisters, as sons, as daughters, as grandfathers, as grandmothers, as boss, as colleague, as subordinate, having so many relations and responsibilities in this world, being an Indian, being an American, being a North Indian, being a South Indian, being a Democrat, being a Republican. We have so many different divisions. We may have different roles and duties and responsibilities according to what we identify ourselves with. But they're all temporary. They're all flickering. They're all impermanent. But what is permanent, lifetime after lifetime? 5 million years ago, what was existing? 5 million years ahead, what will exist is the fact that I belong to Krishna and Krishna gets attracted when I perform devotion. So to attract that all attractive is the theme of the Bhagavad Gita, is the ever-moving theme, the invisible thread through the pages of the Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam does not speak about anyone or anything short of pure devotion. Think about all the examples. Think about the Pandavas. Think about Parikshit Maharaj. Think about Shukdev Goswami. Think about Narada Muni and Vyasadeva. Think about Gajendra. Think about Ambarish Maharaj. Think about Prahlad Maharaj. Think about Dhruva Maharaj. Think about the Brajbasis. Think about the Brajagopis. Think about Uddhava. All of them are examples. Draupadi, Kunti, Kapila Muni. They're all examples of pure devotion. What to speak of Ajamil, who was not on the path of pure devotion, but little touch with the limbs of pure devotion. Kwachaham kitavaha papam brahmagno nirapatrapa kwacha narayana iti etad bhagavan nama mangalam. Just by the touch of the name of Narayana, Narayana nama naro naranam prasiddha chaura kathita prativyam aneka janmarjita papa sancharam haratya shesham shrutimatra. Just by touch of little chanting of the holy name, which is one of the limbs of bhakti, Ajamil got uplifted. Whole Bhagavatam talks only about pure devotees. Same theme continues in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Nacho gao bhakta sange koro sankirtan, achirata pabe tumi krishnera charan, sadhu sanga nam kirtan bhagavata shravan, mathura vasa shrimurthira shraddhaya sevan, sadhu sanga sarva shastra koe, lavamatra sadhu sange sarva siddhi hoy, krishna tattva bhakti tattva rasa tattva pranta, sabha shikhaila prabhu bhagavata siddhanta, कृष्ण तुल्य भागवत विभु सर्वाश्रय प्रति श्लोके प्रति अक्षरे नाना अर्थे कहे निरापराध नाम लैले पाए प्रेम धन बहु जन्म करी यदि श्रवण कीर्तन तार मध्य सर्वश्रेष्ठ नाम संकीर्तन. So many verses in Chaitanya Charitamrita only speaking about devotion. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with his associates, Prabhu kahe Vaishnav seva naam sankirtan dui karo shigra paave Krishna charan. He focused only on devotion and nothing else. Advaitacharya invoked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through devotion. Srivas Pandit chanted all day in devotion. Mahaprabhu inundated Nadia with devotion. All night long Sankirtan in devotion. Preaching in South India, devotion. Explosion of that devotion in Jagannath Puri. And this devotion, which starts off in the Bhagavad Gita, moves through the Bhagavatam and explodes in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. That devotion, Prabhupada in the Leelamrit, he takes it around the world and distributes it far and wide. So undoubtedly, bhakti is the process which attracts the all-attractive. There is no doubt about it. This process of bhakti is such that it can be done at any circumstance by anyone. For Hatha Yoga, Shuchau Deshe, the place must be clean. One must focus on the tip of one's nostril. The eyes must not be completely open, must not be completely closed, must be half open, half closed. In a peaceful environment. Now, where do we go for a peaceful environment with our eyes half closed, half open? Even if we have our eyes all open during japa, it gets all closed. Now, who's going to risk to have it half open, half closed, focusing on the tip of one's nose in a clean place at a clean time? Very risky. Hatha Yoga, qualification. Karma Yoga, qualification. Dhyana Yoga, qualification. So many different paths. But Bhakti Yoga, can be performed at all times. Prahlad Maharaj started bhakti while being in the womb. He had not seen his Gurudev. He did not have a picture of his spiritual master. He did not have beads from his spiritual master. He did not even know the pranam mantra for Narad Muni. But bhakti began in the womb of Kayadu. Prahlad Maharaj performed bhakti in the womb. Dhruva Maharaj performed bhakti as a child. Ambarish Maharaj performed bhakti as a middle-aged person. And Katwanga Maharaj performed bhakti in the last 24 minutes of his life. Parikshit Maharaj performed bhakti in the last 7 days of his life. And Ajamil performed bhakti at the time of death by calling out to the name. And Chitraketu Maharaj performed bhakti after death in the form of Vritrasur. So bhakti continues in all phases of one's life. In all times, at all circumstances possible. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavanyaschasmi tattvatah. Krishna hits the table with intense force and makes this point crystal clear that only by devotion can I be understood. Bhaktya tu ananyaya shakya ahameva vidorjuna nyatum drashtum cha tattvena praveshtum cha parantapaha. Krishna says, whether nyatum, you want to know me, drashtum, see my pastimes, praveshtum, enter my pastimes. Bhakti. Bhaktya tu ananyaya shakya. It is possible, shakya, only by ananyaya bhaktya, by pure devotion. Now, what that pure devotion is, let's come to the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, now this is the final phase of our discussion. We'll divide the discussion in 3 phases. First phase, we discussed how Krishna is all attractive. Second phase, we discussed how devotion attracts the all attractive. Now, in the third phase, we will describe what actually devotion is. what is practically applicable on the path of bhakti. So this is the final conclusion of our discussion. We will go for another 15 minutes or so, and then we will open it up for questions and answers. In the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Kapila Muni speaks to Mother Devahuti and speaks about not just bhakti, but bhakti that is performed in the mode of ignorance, tamas, performed in the mode of passion, rajas, performed in the mode of goodness, sattva, and then vishuddha sattva. Sattvam vishuddham vasudaiva shabdhitam. Fourth canto of Bhagavatam. So there are 4 levels of bhakti. Bhakti which is performed in the mode of ignorance. Bhakti performed in the mode of passion. Bhakti performed in the mode of goodness. And pure bhakti, which is beyond these 3 modes. Now we'll keep the pure devotion temporarily aside. We'll talk about these 3. After mentioning the bhakti performed in the mode of passion or ignorance, passion, goodness, and pure goodness in the third canto, the fourth canto deals with examples to make this point. In the fourth canto, the discussion starts with the story of Daksha Prajapati. Now, because we don't have time, I will not be able to get into these stories, but this is something that we can read on our own. The start of the fourth canto, we can see the story of Daksha. Now, in the story of Daksha, we see he was not very happy with the marriage of Lord Shiva and Sati. And he was being respected by everyone, but he had a problem when Lord Shiva did not get up. Lord Shiva was completely absorbed in meditation, and he criticized Lord Shiva, and he said, I don't want Lord Shiva here. And there was a difference of opinion between Lord Shiva and Daksha, and Sati, being the daughter of Daksha and the wife of Lord Shiva, was stuck in the middle. This story we can read. Now, the story of Daksha is interesting because he was performing bhakti, but his mood was bhakti in the mode of ignorance, tamas. When bhakti is impelled, let's say the impetus for bhakti is hatred, it's envy, it's violence, then that's bhakti. They're not a demon, they are still devotees, but that's in the mode of ignorance. And the example for that is Daksha. Daksha was so envious of Lord Shiva. He criticized Shiva back and forth. Everyone got up to respect him, but one person did not get up, and that agitated Daksha Prajapati. Daksha Prajapati, in fact, he lacked the etiquette to understand the position of one's superiors. To such an extent, when Brahma comes to counsel him, Daksha at one point calls Brahma as Parameshthi. That's all. As the creator. He does not even say Lord Brahma. He says that creator is responsible. I blame the creator, Parameshthi, for making this match of my daughter Sati with this Lord Shiva. So this is Daksha. Daksha performs bhakti in the mode of ignorance, and he loses his head. You can read that story. He loses his head, and it is replaced by a goat head. So this is what happens when you perform bhakti in the mode of ignorance, when we are not ready to take superior guidance in one's life. After Daksha's story is the story of Dhruva Maharaj, which is bhakti performed in the mode of passion, where bhakti is performed to Krishna, and the impetus, the reason why that bhakti is being performed, it's not pure, it's to fulfill some desires. Here, one is not desiring to put someone down, it's just that one wants fulfillment of one's own desires. Yontah pravishya mama vacham imam prasuptam sanjeeva yatya kila shakti dharasva dhamnam anyamscha hasta charana shravanatvagadin pranan namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam sthanabhilashi tapasi sitoham tvam praptavan deva munindra guhyam kachan vichinvan apidivya ratnam swamin kritarthosmi varam nayache. Dhruva Maharaj offers prayers at the age of 5 or 6, standing in the middle of the forest for 6 months on the tip of his toes, and not eating anything to remember his mantra. He had even controlled his breathing, his life air, just to remember the mantra. But ultimately, he wanted to do all this to get a kingdom bigger than his father, grandfather, great-grandfather. So when Vishnu appears, Dhruva Maharaj says that I came to this forest searching for broken pieces of glass, but standing in front of me is a priceless diamond, after which my desires for the broken pieces of glass is diminished. So Daksha is performing bhakti in the mode of ignorance, for self-prestige, by pushing others down, by violence, by hatred, by envy. Dhruva Maharaj doesn't have it. It's not about others, it's about I getting it. So he's kind of bribing Krishna with his auspicious austerity to get what he wants. But when he gets Vishnu, his desire to get something in this world diminishes. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it has been described that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that those who worship me, ama bhaje vishay mage e bada murk. That those who worship me and ask for temporary material things, they are very, very foolish. Ami vidnya ei murkhe vishay kene diba, nija charanamrita diya vishay bhulai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, when someone approaches me for material things, I place my lotus feet on his heart, as a result of which naturally the leak in the heart from where material desires are popping, that is sealed, and one comes to me to fulfill material desires, but I end up giving myself to that living being, and he forgets why he came to me. So this is the mode of passion. Then after that, the fourth canto speaks about bhakti in the mode of goodness, and the example for that is Prithu Maharaj. Now, Prithu Maharaj's story is very interesting. Prithu Maharaj performs 99 Ashwamedha Yajnas. 99. And if he performs one more, he becomes Indra. But as we know, Indra plays the part of someone who's very insecure in circumstances in life. So Indra gets insecure, and he, again, don't want to spill the beans here, but you can read it yourself. Indra tries to stop the 100th sacrifice of Prithu Maharaj, and Prithu Maharaj and Indra get into a fight. It's interesting. Indra and Prithu Maharaj both are incarnations. Both Prithu Maharaj and Indra are incarnations of Krishna. They're Shakti Avesh incarnations. Both are Kshatriyas. Both are incarnations of the Supreme Lord, and they're having a tussle between them. Prithu Maharaj is almost ready to put Indra into the fire, but Brahma comes there. That Brahma who came to Daksha Prajapati, and Daksha Prajapati didn't care for Brahma, didn't see him as a superior, instead called him Parameshthi, just the creator, without proper respect. That same Brahmaji came to Prithu Maharaj and requested Prithu Maharaj, you have two options. Option number one, you commit, you finish your task, perform the 100th sacrifice, and you become the king of heaven. You get heaven. Or another option is you don't get into this battle with Indra, you let Indra go, and you stop doing your 100th sacrifice. Think about it. Those of us who like to be achievers, you like to get your work done, you like to be systematic, you like to start your work and get it done in an organized way and not leave anything half finished. You like to be meticulously organized and planned. And Prithu Maharaj undoubtedly is like that. After Prithu Maharaj, Mother Earth got the name Prithvi, because Mother Earth presented herself as the daughter of Prithu Maharaj. That, oh Prithu Maharaj, you are so magnanimous and so powerful and charismatic as a king and as a devotee. I want to offer myself as a daughter to you and give all my fruits and flowers and vegetables and all the minerals and all the ornaments that I have within me. I want to offer it to you. So Bhagavatam describes when Prithu Maharaj was ruling, Mother Earth was abundant in everything. She manifested everything. This is why Mother Earth is called Prithvi. Prithu Maharaj is so great that his daughter is Pritha. And Pritha's son is Parth or Arjuna. Prabhupada explains, Kunti Devi is called Pritha, and her father is Prithu Maharaj, and Kunti Devi's son is Arjun, who's called Partha. So Prithu Maharaj gives the name Prithvi, or Mother Earth inherits the name Prithvi. Prithu Maharaj is an incarnation of Krishna. Prithu Maharaj is the grandfather of Arjuna, and still Brahma comes and tells him, I know you like to get your things done. I know you like to be systematic and organized and get your work finished. But my request is, you have two options. Either you complete your work and topple Indra and become the king of heaven. Or second, you bow your head, let Indra go, give up your 100th sacrifice. So you perform 99 so that you can finish the 100 and get your thing done. But after 99, Prithu Maharaj was advised by Brahma, either you finish the 100th and topple Indra to become the next Indra of heaven, or you let go of Indra, give up your 100th sacrifice and melt the heart of Krishna. Two options. Either you get your work done, destroy Indra by toppling him by this service, and you get heaven. Or second, you get your service interrupted. You give up your planned action and melt the heart of Krishna. And Prithu Maharaj bows his head down to the words of Brahma. This is the difference between Daksha Prajapati and Prithu Maharaj. Daksha Prajapati ignored Brahma, therefore he got his head cut. And Prithu Maharaj listened to Brahma and he bowed his head down. So we have two options. Bhakti in the mode of ignorance, bhakti in the mode of goodness is different. The difference is both have the same superior Brahma. If we accept the words of our spiritual superior and let our conceptions be overridden by their conceptions, we forget our plans, forget our opinions and our viewpoints and ideas in life, and align to their viewpoint and their ideas and their opinions in life, and we bow our head, then that is the example of Prithu Maharaj. Or we have a spiritual superior like Brahma, we ignore, we say, I know better than you. We hold on to our egoistic possession of opinions, our plans, our viewpoints, our desires, our plan of action, our direction, our decisions. Then that is Daksha. So Daksha is ready to lose his head but not bow his head. But Prithu protects his head by bowing down. So the whole fourth canto goes from story of Daksha to the story of Prithu, which means going from goat head to God head. This is the conclusion, the summary of the fourth canto. Daksha is goat head, Prithu is God head, and the difference from goat head, losing one's head, getting a goat head, to bowing our head and going to God head is listening to our spiritual superior. This is very, very interesting. This is the process of bhakti. This is the whole of 10th canto even. 10th canto in Vraja Leela, Krishna's constantly changing plans. Krishna's pastimes means changing plan. Think about Govardhan Leela. Indra is getting puja from time immemorial, everything is perfect. The rain is perfect, the mountain is perfect, the puja is perfect, the service to Indra is perfect, the grass is perfect, the cows are perfect, villagers are perfect. Krishna comes and changes the plan. Now, Vrajvasi is he who agrees to change to Krishna's dynamic change of plan. He changes the plan, everything goes topsy-turvy. Krishna lifts up the Govardhan. That time people don't say, you are responsible for all this. We were happy for so many generations. It's all because of you. Nor are they coming under. Nor are they coming under the shelter, the umbrella of the mountain and looking at their own properties. The Vrajvasis are not standing under Govardhan and saying, wait a minute, we are protected, but where is my house? Did that get completely washed off, devastated in this reign of Indra? Right? So they were not thinking like that. They were ready to give up everything. Esham ghosha nivasinam uta bhavan tvameva rateti naha cheto vishva phalat tvadaparam kutrapi yan muhyati sadveshadi vaputa napi sakula tvameva devarpita yad dhama artha surit priyatmatanaya pranashayatvat krite. Brahmaji says the Brajvasis are ready to give everything to Krishna and keep moving according to ever-changing plans of Krishna. Krishna says right, so they say right. Krishna says left, they say left. Then after saying left, Krishna says right, they turn right. So he who can keep moving according to Krishna's ever-moving plans is a Vrajavasi. In Sanskrit, the word Vraja means to move. So one meaning of the word Vrajavasi is he who lives in Vrindavan, where everyone keeps moving by foot because there is parikrama. But the inner meaning, as far as false ego is concerned, a Vrajavasi is he who is ready to change to the dynamic plans of Krishna. And for that, you have to be selfless. If we hold on to our ideas, then to move is difficult. We have to flow like Ganga. Only then he is a Vrajvasi. Think about it. Think about playing soccer, right? So in soccer, there is a fixed goal post, and you have to move and boom, hit the soccer ball into the goal post. So that is bhukti and mukti. You want to get liberated. You want material enjoyment in this world. You take the soccer ball of your activities, dribble it around, and boom, hit it into the goal post. And then you get material enjoyment, you get liberation. Bhukti and mukti are the goalposts of the soccer game of life. But bhakti is not like that. Bhakti means you're dribbling the ball, you're taking it to the goalpost, suddenly the goalpost is missing. Then you look around, Krishna has replaced the goalpost somewhere else. So now you again start dribbling the ball of your ideas and plans of life and dribble it back to that goalpost, and boom, again it's missing. Krishna has moved it to another corner of the stadium, and again you start dribbling. And after 2 hours or so, even if you haven't hit a single goal, still Krishna announces you as the winner. The winner is not he who hits how many goals in the goalpost. The winner is he who can keep adjusting according to the ever-moving plans of Krishna's decisions. This is Vrajvasi. This is the movement according to Krishna's plans. You see, in cricket also, of course, in America, people play baseball, but I come from India, and cricket is like almost like religion there. One time, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj was speaking and was cricket fever. It's like, World Cup time. So one boy got up and he said, Maharaj, cricket is my religion, and Sachin Tendulkar, the master blaster, celebrity cricketer, cricket is my religion and Sachin is my deity. He is my God. Maharaj said, I don't know about Sachin, but for me, my Lord is Sachinandan, the son of Sachi Mata. So in cricket, you play the 5 days of test match. But before you play the 5 days of test match, you play hours and hours of net practice. Net practice means you have nets around, and then you have different kinds of bowlers, fast bowlers, spin bowlers, and they keep challenging. Their purpose is to bewilder the batsman, to confuse the batsman, to bowl very fast, unplayable for the batsman. And the batsman has stumps behind him, and then it's covered by nets. So the ball hits the net, he goes and picks up the ball and throws it back. So it's a proper pitch, a proper stump, a proper setup for batting, and proper set of bowlers. So it's not that the bowlers are going to bowl very simple. They challenge full on. And then when the batsman keeps trying to bat according to the fast bowling, the spin bowling for hours and hours and hours, then when he plays the actual test match on the international platform, then he can play properly. If he has to play a test match of cricket, he cannot do net practice of soccer. Whatever game he has to play is what he has to practice. So similarly, Goloka Vrindavan is like test cricket. Krishna is going to constantly challenge and throw googlies and bouncers and yorkers to see how we move according to his ever-changing plans. So we have to bat according to Krishna's plans. But that test match there starts off with net practice in this world. And what is the net practice? The net practice is this material world. And who are the bowlers? The bowlers are the Vaishnavas. So when the Vaishnavas are bowling, and sometimes you can play the ball, sometimes it's a yorker, sometimes it's confusing, we should smile, because all of that is preparing us towards the test match of playing Krishna in his eternal pastimes. But all of this must be done under the guidance of a coach who's an expert devotee. Sushrushaya bhajana vijnana mananya manya nindadi shunya ridamipsita sangalabdham. The Upadeshamrita describes the coach, the pure Vaishnav is he who's devoid of any personal agenda. He doesn't have fault-finding mentality. He walks according to the path ordained in the scriptures. He's completely devoted to Krishna. He's filled with the spirit of compassion. So under that coach, with fast bowling, fast-moving variety of bowling, of fast bowlers and spin bowlers in the Vaishnav community. In the net practice of this world, we continue to bat, to practice. So every time there is a spin, every time there is a bouncer, every time there's a yorker, every time it's an unplayable ball, we don't look at the bowler and say, what is this nonsense? This is not how you bowl. Whenever there's a ball in the net practice that we're not able to play, we look at the bowler and we say, well played. That is the spirit of a good batsman. So a good devotee is he who works under the coach, which is the spiritual master or a high-class Vaishnav. In the case of Daksha Prajapati and Prithu Maharaj, it was Brahma who was the coach. And Brahma, being the coach, was giving Prithu Maharaj, who was the batsman, a googly, where he's thrown by Indra. He said, give up the 100th sacrifice. And because the batsman was aligning according to the will of the coach in the net practice of the Vaishnav community, he got Godhead. But Daksha Prajapati, he didn't even consider the coach. And the googlies that were coming in his life in the form of Lord Shiva and Mother Sati and so many twists and turns and reversals, Daksha Prajapati got agitated. And therefore he lost his head and got a goat head. So this is very, very important. We must understand Krishna's changing plan. He keeps changing the goalpost in soccer, and he keeps giving us the bouncers and the googlies in the net practice of cricket. So to these two examples, we can understand. First portion of our class was on how Krishna is all attractive. Second portion of our class was on how bhakti attracts Krishna. But the third conclusion, the third part of our discussion is that bhakti, if it is done in the mode of passion or ignorance, it may not completely satisfy and attract Krishna. For it to attract Krishna, it must be like Prithu Maharaj, where we are under guidance and we completely align ourselves to the words of the superior. But that superior must be spiritually high class. We cannot be dancing independent angels in bhakti. We must have a superior. Mahat sevam dwaram ahur vimukte stamodwaram yoshitam sangha sangam. Bhagavatam. Tishtan vrajet tad anuragi jananugami kalam nayet akhilam iti upadesha saram. 8th verse of NOI, Nectar of Instruction. We must be under a superior who's advanced. And then by his guidance, whatever he says is what we must do in bhakti. Therefore, we offer the independence of false ego at his lotus feet. This is why Krishna is called Madhusudan. Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions Krishna is called Madhusudan because Sudanam, he destroys Madhu demon. But the word Madhu also means sweetness. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says our false ego, our pride is as sweet as honey. It intoxicates and it is very sweet. But Krishna, by his ever-changing plans, is Madhusudan. He destroys the intoxication of that sweet false ego, that pride, and makes us humble in the association of Vaishnavas. So we should never hold anything against Vaishnavas. We should never hold anything against our superiors, because if that is our spirit, we are walking on the path of Daksha, getting a goat head. And if we walk in the spirit of Prithu, then we are going to Godhead. This is the spirit, this is the path, this is the way of attracting the all attractive. So thank you so much. I want to request the admin of this discussion to kindly step in and kindly instruct me what I'm supposed to do next.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. That was a wonderful class. We had everything. We had Bhagavad Gita, we had Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nectar of Instruction, devotion. We even had a very popular sports analogy. How bhakti is so similar and in fact much better than it. So thank you so much. Now, to the audience, I do want to apologize. We had a technical snag early on, but in case you're wondering who this wonderful speaker is, we had with us today Amarendra Prabhu. For those of you who didn't know, he's an initiated disciple of His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj, a senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada. And as you can see, he's very well known for his classes on Srimad Bhagavatam. And Amarendra Prabhu has been preaching at various congregations across the world, but also in such digital formats on YouTube, Facebook, etc. And as part of his preaching endeavors, especially to students, he's been part of many, many conferences. And as you can imagine, he might have influenced and changed the lives of many, many students and given them the impetus to take to Krishna Bhakti. And from an academic standpoint, he's a master's degree in electrical engineering from the University of Massachusetts. And as we can see from his grasp on Shastra. He holds a Bhakti Shastri degree from Mayapur as well. So we have some time for questions. Prabhu, with your permission, if we can go a few, maybe about 10 to 15 minutes. We had quite a few questions in the Q&A panel. So hopefully we can have more and more of your association. So without any further ado, I will dive into some of the questions that we had. So we had a question from Jagannath Mishra Prabhu, who said that what exactly is it about bhakti that attracts Krishna? So you reference Krishna Akarshani Chasha from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And, so he was asking whether Srimati Radharani being the origin of bhakti and only she being able to attract Krishna, is there some connection with respect to that? And maybe the fact that, the bhakti we do reminds Krishna of the bhakti of Srimati Radharani. Is there any sort of connection there?
Very beautiful. Actually, bhakti starts off with Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivriti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, Prem. Now, Prem or love of God, it moves into Sneha, Man, Pranay, Rag, Anurag, Bhav, Mahabhav, Modanakya Mahabhav, Mohanakya Mahabhav, and Madanakya Mahabhav. Now, this Madanakya Mahabhav is Radharani. Mahabhava Swarupatvam Krishna Prema Variyasi Prema Bhakti Prade Devi Radhiketum Namamyaham. Which means Shraddha or the seed of devotion completely fructifies to become Radharani. What that actually means is we as part and parcels, as eternal spirit souls, are part and parcel of Krishna. But the devotion that we have is actually part and parcel of Radharani. As souls, we are part and parcel of Krishna, but the devotion that we may have for Krishna is actually part and parcel of Radharani. Devotion comes only from Radharani. She is dipped in devotion. She is dripping devotion. So there is, Jiva Goswami calls this as Murta Prem and Amurta Prem. Murta Prem means manifested Prem, that is Radharani. And Amurta Prem, which is unmanifested, is found in the form of a seed of devotion or Shraddha in the heart of the devotee. So what we can say is that devotion is non-different from Radharani, because Jagannath Mishra Prabhu has hit the nail on the head by saying that bhakti alone can attract Krishna, but will we say Radharani alone can attract Krishna? Therefore, Radharani is bhakti. She is bhakti pradayini. She can give it. She has it. She is it. So therefore, a portion of that bhakti that we hold in our heart is actually a portion of Radharani's personality. And when it completely blossoms, it gives us our swarup, which is non-different from Radharani's mercy. Therefore, the manjaris of Vrindavan are called as Kaya Vyuha manjaris, which means those who have expanded from the body of Radharani. Kaya means body and Vyuha means expansions. So all the manjaris, they are expanded from Radharani. Radharani is pure devotion. They have expanded from Radharani. They're all pure devotion. And we have the potential of finding our Swarup in Braja, ultimately. So therefore, we have the potential of completely being Bhakti-mai, being a part and parcel of Radharani, Radharani's devotion. So this Bhakti is non-different from Radharani, but in the state that we are in, it's covered. And therefore, we feel there is a difference. But then when more and more it unmanifests, that love of Radharani will manifest for Krishna, but to the limited extent that a jiva can hold. Because Radharani's love, even Krishna can't hold. Therefore, when he comes as Mahaprabhu, he gets spiritually electrocuted. He can't hold so much love. So what to speak of us? But how much ever little we can hold is not different from Radharani. Therefore, the jiva is part and parcel of Krishna, and the love for that Krishna that we possess as Shraddha and Sadhu Sangha, etc., Bhava Bhakti, Prema Bhakti, is part and parcel of Radharani's personality.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, you talked about the impetus for bhakti and impetus to attract Krishna. So, you talked about bhakti in the mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. Now, one question that came up was when you consider what's mentioned in the Bhagavatam says, Ahaituki apratyata yatmasu prasidati. And so, is it fine? What would bhakti be classified as if we have the desire to attract Krishna? Let's say we perform bhakti to actually attract Krishna. So we do have, call it it is a spiritual desire of sorts, but we're not exactly doing it in the bhav of haituki. So can you just give your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So Krishna is a very insecure lover, which means he's like a wife who does not want her husband to look anywhere except her. It's not like the wife says, you love me, but you can have a few girlfriends also. That's not the wife. The wife is, you have me and you don't have anyone else. So where's that quality that comes in a wife? That comes from Krishna. So Krishna is an insecure lover. He brooks no competitors. It's not that you love him, you have some desire to please him, but also I have some other things, some flings going on around. Jesus says in the Bible, you can serve God and man with the same hand. Which means my desire to serve Krishna, yes, I have desire to attract him, but I have other things also, which means I have desire to attract him so that he gives me what I want, ultimately. So it's called as mixed devotion. But pure devotion is where, like the gopis of Vrindavan, even if Krishna's having a headache and I have to go to hell, but I still scrape the dust from my feet and give it on his head. Prabhupada says that story. So it's a long journey, but it's a fascinating journey, because from Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivriti, Nishtha. That's like the peak, uphill peak of the mountain. But after Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, Prem is downhill. Which means when you go up the hill, it's struggle. It's struggle. And we're on a bike. Let's say we are biking our way up. So it's struggle to bike up. But if you leave biking, you're going to fall down. But when you cross that Nishtha, you don't have to bike, you just come down out of natural attraction. So therefore, we all have to battle our way from I don't want Krishna to I kind of want Krishna. I think I want Krishna. I really want Krishna. I want Krishna right now. That's it. It's like, it's definitely mixed devotion, but pure devotion is far away. For that, it must meet the criteria of Anya Bhilashita Shunyam. And discussion on Anya Bhilashita Shunyam is another 2 hours. So, so I'll get into that right now.
So, Prabhu, there was a question from Anjana Talya Mataji. Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely. Please go ahead.
So the question was, you mentioned that it's not just sentiments, but actual service that needs to be rendered that shows and demonstrates our devotion to Krishna. Now, the question was, what if material activities are keeping us away from such service? And you kind of addressed that, right? You talked about man mana bhava mat bhakto matyaji and so on. And but let me just take it a little further. If someone is a paraplegic, they can't even do mam namaskaru, right? And there are so many other obstacles holding them from being able to express and demonstrate the devotion. Then will Krishna still accept just pure sentiment?
So when one is ready to offer it in service, when the purity of spirit is such that one is ready to offer it in service, then Krishna will accept the sentiment. But if the sentiment is so weak that one is lazy to express that in service, then Krishna will not accept it in sentiment. In the sense that we know the story of the Brahmana who was cooking kheer for Krishna, and he put his hand in there, and all of this was in the mind. You may have heard the story. He was actually cooking sweet rice for Krishna, all of this in the mind. And to check whether it's hot enough for Krishna, he put his finger in the pot, all of this in the mind. And when he realized in real life, his finger was burnt because that sweet rice was so hot in the mind. So Krishna says you can offer your service in the mind, but that's at an advanced level where one is ready to offer first one's body. Now we are at a point where we are not even ready to offer our time to Krishna. So first we start off by offering some time to Krishna. We offer our voice to Krishna. We offer our wealth to Krishna. We offer the faculties of our body to Krishna. Then slowly we offer our mind to Krishna. And then we end up offering our heart to Krishna. But now when we are not even ready to offer our time to Krishna, we say, I'm going to do it in the mind. That's hoax. Mind is cheating us. Some people say, oh, yes, I don't have to chant loudly because it's going on in my mind. Well, the mind is tricking us. If it was actually going on in the mind, you wouldn't even say it, that it's happening in the mind. Because when it's happening in the mind, the person feels, I wish I can keep chanting on and on and on. And natural humility, the tree bows down by the weight of its fruits. So the fruit of devotion leads the tree of the jiva to bend in humility. And the person says, actually, I'm not able to do much. But when we are not doing much, then we walk around speaking about our bhajan. Prabhupada says, Ati bhakti chorera lakhan. That too much bhakti is the symptom of a thief. Apanaro bhajanero katha no kaho jatha tatha. Don't walk around telling how much we are doing, right? So there's one devotee in one of the cities in North America, and he was serving the Vaishnavas so much that one senior Vaishnav told me that this devotee is so special. His actions speak so loud that we can hardly hear him speak. Right? So this is the point. We should be ready to get out of our comfort zone and switch gears and serve the devotees, serve Sri Guru, serve the Shastra, chant the holy name, serve the deities, go to the Dham, be enthusiastic for that. But in the example that you gave me, it's a very rare example, but Krishna is Saragrahi. In those examples, when they're not literally able to do it, they want to, but their body is not letting them, and they pray to Krishna. Krishna has already accepted it in the mind. If we are willing to, in real, Krishna will accept it in the mind. But if we are trying to escape the reality by doing it in the mind, then Krishna knows. If we are a thief, Krishna is a bigger thief. Chauragra Ganyam Purusham Namami. He is the first class thief. So he knows the integrity amidst the thief. That first of all, they will steal. And then they will talk about ethics. That, look, all of us stole it equally. So 25%, 25%, 25%, 25%. So they'll speak about ethics after stealing. So it's like we've already stolen in the sense that we want to give excuse that I don't want to do it in real life. And then we talk about ethics that I'm going to do it in my mind. So Krishna knows our sincerity. We can kind of fool the whole world. But if you're sincere, Krishna will accept. If you're sincere, we want to offer it in body, mind, and words. You're not able to do it, then even through the mind, Krishna will accept. But if you're not sincere enough, you want to kind of, like, be a couch potato, watch movie and say, yeah, in the interval, I'm chanting Hare Krishna. Well, then you know what's happening.
Absolutely. So, Prabhu, I'm sure devotees want to continue to have your association, but I do want to be respectful of time. Do we have time for a few more questions?
I think we can call it a day for now.
Okay.
We can have another session where we can take other questions.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu. So, for devotees that do want to hear more from Amarendra Prabhu, he does have a lot of lectures online on YouTube. So feel free to go and watch those broadcasts. But I do have a few announcements for the Janmashtami celebrations that we've got this week. So at 5 p.m. today, we will be having a session by His Grace Jayananda Prabhu on the topic of bringing Janmashtami home, worshipping Krishna at home. And this is really a crucial topic, right? A lot of you will not be able to go visit the temple or might not have an elaborate altar at home. So how can you bring the mood of Janmashtami at home and continue serving Krishna? So that's a very, very crucial topic. So certainly tune in for that. Now, I want to remind everyone that 11th of August, Tuesday, is Janmashtami. And as I said, the temple will be closed for the reasons related to COVID-19. But we will be having online darshan. We'll be having a Rudra Geet Havan, glorifying Krishna. This is a program in the evening. Now, also, we will be having the inimitable Dina Bandhu Prabhu speak on the pastimes of Lord Krishna. So this will be at 7 a.m. And the festival, this is again on Janmashtami. And so this will culminate into a special program in the evening, starting at about 6 p.m. until about 12 o'clock in the night. Now, Dinabandha Prabhu, for those of you who don't know, is a devotee, is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and he's been living in Vrindavan and Barsana for the last, I want to say, 3 to 4 decades almost. And so much so that in spite of being from the West, some of the Brajvasis, they just consider him as just one of them. So definitely it is going to be an absolute blockbuster session. You cannot miss this. So feel free to attend if time permits. Now, lastly, we will be including an Abhishek and midnight darshan at 12 p.m. That is obviously the time at which Lord Krishna appeared in this world in the prison at Mathura. So definitely continue to stay tuned for announcements, updates on the Facebook page for ISKCON Toronto. And again, all these programs will be broadcast live on Facebook as well as on our YouTube channel. So with that, I want to thank His Grace Amarendra Prabhu once more. Hare Krishna, and we hope to see you for the rest of the programs this week. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. I really want to offer my gratitude to all the devotees who participated, who put this event together. Venkat Prabhu connected with me, and he went through all the coordinations. Special gratitude to him, special gratitude to the management, Special gratitude to you for kindly hosting. Special gratitude to Anjaneya Prabhu. Special gratitude to all the devotees who are present here. Krishna willing, we will connect again sometime, someday. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Prabhupada.